And welcome to the Rondo. We're back yet again for the final Rondo of the season. Wow, what a Premier League season that we've had, man. I mean, it's pretty much over. I think everything's decided. But to be fair, you got the top five race.
Chelsea, you know what I mean?
Still to go to the wire, but we know who the champions are. I've got the shades off, guys. I thought, the gimmick's gone long enough. I can finally be able to. I feel like I can be in the presence of losers again. So we've got two here. It's your boy AA hosting. I've got my first loser here in AG. Tell me what you're saying, bro.
Yeah, we're just hearing it. Season's done. Just here to look on to the next one now. Netflix FC, I guess. Netflix FC.
It was a good win today, though.
Yeah, it was a good win, but what's the point? We've played these guys 3 times this season, or 4 times now, and we've won the only one that doesn't count. So what?
Yeah, fairs. Fairs. Brutal honesty, and we got A. You know what I'm saying? My man Marcus, it's been a little while.
Been a while.
Former regular. He says now he's back again, and he's back for good now.
Back for good, man.
Back for good. Marcus, tell him how you're feeling, man.
Well, I'm feeling good, man. Season's a bit dark, I'd say, for us at the moment. One more win, though. As long as we beat Forest, we're in the bag, man. Champions League.
Cool.
Happy,
And if you beat Forest and you go through to the Champions League, is that a successful season for you?
Yeah, 100%. I'd say. I feel like the trophy thing was kind of not really happening for us this year. Let's be real. Actually, no, we got a conference. We got a conference. I forgot. Conference. We're getting a trophy,
stop that
man.
Mickey Mouse thing,
Hey, trophy's a trophy, man.
Stop that Mickey Mouse thing.
Wait. I've got something. So you're telling me big Chelsea Football Club is a successful season to just finish top 5 and no major trophies?
Yeah, but you need to understand, we've had a lot of nonsense past 2-3 years, isn't it? So I feel like if the team was structured properly the last couple of years, then no. But compared to, we were 10th 2 seasons ago, innit? So for me, it's I understand the team's gone a bit bad, but I'd rather get a trophy, get champs. It's better than any other team. Yeah, but Arsenal getting champs, they ain't won nothing. So
I don't think our season's been successful though. You see, when we're looking at Chelsea, I'm still looking at your team. You still have a midfield pivot that's 100 mil each. Caicedo, Enzo, 2 great players. Cole Palmer, hyped one of the best 10s in the league. You still got a good core in that team, and for me, the Chelsea I grew up on, that I was scared of, was a team that was going for Prems every season, FA Cups every season. And now you're telling me that it's a successful season if you're getting conference league, third tier European
it's not
trophy,
conference league. We're winning the conference league. I know what you're saying, but compared to how the last 2 seasons were,
it's an improvement. Yeah,
I'd rather get an improvement every year than us, come 7th again.
Yeah, obviously it's an improvement.
Guys, don't worry. We're gonna they're starting already. We're gonna come into it, man. I'll just say, I think for the team you have, I can see why you see it as a success, but I still feel like your ownership is a massive failure.
The ownership is a failure, but
in terms of what they're doing,
20-year-olds on the pitch, innit?
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
But don't worry, we'll go into Chelsea. We'll talk about top 5 race. So AG, you can put the gun down just for now, but don't worry, man. I'm gonna ask you to get it back up soon, man. So on today's podcast, we're gonna do a quick recap of the weekend. Of course, dive into Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup and into the Premier League games as well. Not really going to be doing too much in the Premier League games. I mean, all we've got is the top 5 race still going, but a couple of interesting fixtures nonetheless. And then we are going to go into the Rondo Awards. So we are first going to do the team of the season. We've all got our individual teams. We will run through them and we will decide on the team of the season. And then we will go through our awards. As usual, we've got positive and negative awards, both for players, but and also for teams as well. We're gonna do stuff like the club of the season, the flop of the season. You know what I mean? As much as we want to prop people up on the Rondo here, we want to be. We gotta get into our hater bag just a little bit as well. You know 100%. What I'm saying? We gotta put certain man on blast. You know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, man, let's start off with the weekend, and of course the headline fixture is Palace have won their first major trophy. And I've won the FA Cup. No, wait. Big up. Where's it? Big up South London.
Local team. Local.
There's the 3 South Londoners in the building who all support teams not from South London. But still, man, I feel like Palace will have a little place in all of our hearts, no?
Yeah.
No, surely, man. 3 man. What, all born in Croydon here now?
Yeah.
Chelsea still.
Oh, you're born in Chelsea?
Yeah.
Oh, but I saw you grew up in Croydon though before you came from
I used to live in Battersea, innit?
Oh, okay. Fairs. But say nothing. Okay, cool. Moving forward, they won 1-0. They went ahead early as a goal. Really, as we kind of expected, hitting Man City on the break and then really just defending really compact in that 3-4-3 shape. They did really well, man. I thought there was a couple of serious standout performances in Eze and Mateta, Wharton, Munoz. Honestly, brother, watching him play made me feel tired. So I guess before we go into City, what did we feel Palace did well? What are your thoughts on the game? AG, we'll start with you.
So I mean, when you're looking at Palace's team, they've got like a really good group, and the manager as well is getting the best out of them. You're looking at Munoz. Like I was looking at him the other day. He's 28 years old, and it's like this guy. He was at Genk before, and there's so many like gems out there who can come in and improve these sort of mid-table clubs. And like when you're looking at his numbers this season, like I was seeing, I think he's got like 14 or 15 GA in all competitions, which is like the most for a wing back in the Prem. And again, the way he just gets up and down, he made the assist for Eze's goal. He had his offside goal as well. Like he was just causing all sorts of havoc. And he's a top player. Obviously, you got Eze as well linked to a load of clubs because they lost Elise last season. Everyone was like, "Oh, what's going to happen? He's going to go to shambles." But he's really stepped up another level, I think, this season, even from what he was doing last year. So I mean, you just got to give the plaudits to where it's due. Really, like they've got a lot of top players in there, and they won the trophy at the end of the day. So it's all happy.
No, 100%. I think Eze's done well. I thought he started the season quite slowly. A lot of people were saying, can he carry the attack with Elise now gone? And I feel like, he responded really well because, he just dug in. And I think literally from it was like around December time, the guy's been balling, man. Been really key to Palace turning their season around. They've ended it really strongly, had a good period of form in the middle, and now they've got their first trophy. Absolutely mad. Marcus, tell me your thoughts on the game and any stand-up performances.
It was a good game. Obviously, standouts, I think you pretty much said the guys. I thought Eze and Munoz were obviously the standouts for me. I think Munoz has been probably the best right back in the league, in my opinion, this year.
Okay.
Him or Aina have been top two for sure. I feel like Munoz is, obviously his goals and assists this season have been great. Even in that game, he showed himself just how good he is. I feel like he could go to a better team than Palace, I feel. But I feel like with them getting, obviously, Europa League for next season, I feel like it'll be a hard thing to take him from that club. Because I think Eze will stay as well, personally.
Oh, you think Eze will stay? Eze's only got 2 years on his contract, though,
I think he'll look for a move, if I'm being honest, because he's a player that, when I look at the clubs in the Prem, I think he starts for every team in the Prem. And how old is he? He's 26.
He's 27 now.
Yeah, 27. So, you're looking at someone probably going into his last, probably 1 or 2 contracts left in him. If he wants to win the big trophies, I mean, he's already done what no other Palace players in the past has done. He's got them FA Cup. So if he leaves, he's going to be a legend either way. So for me, it's like, can he really do more at Palace? I don't think he can.
I kind of get what you're saying, but I just think because they've got Europe for next year, I don't really see a big team in the league that proper needs like a camp. But you, man.
Arsenal 100%.
I mean, I get what you're saying with Odegaard. I get what you're saying. But would he start in the midfield with Odegaard?
Yes.
Though? You think he will?
Yes, all day.
Arteta wouldn't start him, though.
But you just bought Zubomendi.
But you can also play off the left as well.
That's true. Probably I think he's more effective in the middle than.
I do think he's more effective in the middle.
City needs someone as well.
True, but
I think City probably want to go a bit stronger.
Worse, so like a Ryan Niders, well, he's more of a CM, but
I feel like
they want 2 though, because they're getting Randers and then they're looking at Wirtz. Wirtz could potentially go to Liverpool. I hope that doesn't happen.
No, I don't think. I think that'll be too expensive.
But they're looking at Gibbs White as well.
Yeah, you man don't like spending too much. You know what I mean? I feel like you guys are sensible with your buys.
I feel like sometimes though
unless it's deadline day.
I feel like when Liverpool want to, if they really rate a player, I think they can spend. I think it's normally wages that we don't like. But we've seen Van Dijk 75 million.
True, but
Alisson 67 million. Caicedo 110 million.
That's all the Coutinho money though.
We made the bid. Caicedo 110. We made the bid.
That's true.
So how much was Nunez?
He was 85.
Darwin was 80. Yeah, so
he was 85 million. Yeah. Oh. Such a flop,
man. But I feel like Wirtz will be over 100 mil though. That's
just a quick question still on Palace. So a couple of people are saying, so obviously Eze has been a good servant to Palace over the years. We've just discussed briefly whether he'll move on, but he's done really well for them. He got the goal to win them the FA Cup.
I think I know what you're gonna ask.
Yeah, some people are saying that Eze is now a bigger legend for Palace than Wilfried Zaha. What are them saying about that?
After this, I think I have to disagree with that. And, obviously, I do like Eze and he's a top player. But when you look at Zaha, the Palace that we grew up on was a championship Palace team.
Yeah.
And he was basically the reason that they went from that sort of championship level to be an established Premier League club. Like, there was probably 3 or 4 seasons that he was like the sole attacker, just keeping them up, winning them games and keeping them there. And, you take out Zaha out the equation, they're probably still lingering on the championship. So he's kind of paved the way for all these players to come through. Your Elise's, your Eze's, and you know, again, like you can put them on the same level because you know FA Cup is the first trophy they've won in their history, isn't it? So, but I wouldn't go as far as to say he's a bigger.
I think Zaha's impact was a lot more. Yeah, worst team as well. I feel like if you had a prime Zaha in this team, crazy stuff would be crazy, innit? Yeah, crazy stuff would be going on. So,
I can't lie. My thoughts. I feel like it's a massive disrespect, man. I don't even feel like they're same level. Like I feel like Eze's done really well for Palace. I think he's a legend, certainly for Palace, and he deserves his respect. But I just feel like sometimes with the way football discourse is, people they get too swayed by big headlines and trophies. Like you got to look at the story. Like Zaha is an academy product, came through, basically had his whole career there. Aaron made a good point about the fact that, in his prime, he pretty much kept Palace there in a much worse team, allowed them to establish themselves from a championship team to a Premier League team. But also as a youth, man, don't forget, it was Zaha that got them into the Prem.
Yeah, exactly.
He had that crazy breakthrough season, signed for Man United, loaned himself back because he wanted to finish the season. Him and Fergie discussed it. He wanted to finish the season. And he got them through the playoffs, bro. He was brazy in the semi-final playoff game. I still remember that goal he scored, the turn. You might remember that turn and then banged it with his left. But bro, you got to respect where it all started. You know what I'm saying? I still feel like, Eze might even be a better player than Zaha. I think that's another debate. But if you're talking about the greatest player for Palace, bro, it's Zaha, man. Still for me. It's still for me. But cool. Moving quickly on to City, man. As we said, we always like to get into our hater bag. It's a bad season for City,
Stay humble.
It's not looking
It's
good.
a bad season for City, man.
You know what's really one of my biggest takeaways from that game was why Haaland didn't step up to take the penalty.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I feel like he bottled that still.
Because I've seen a lot of talk, and it kind of comes back to my club a bit, because I've seen this discourse going around, people saying that, Saka is not the main guy for Arsenal, and that he needs to be more like a Haaland, Haaland can step up and take the claims for Man City. And, you're getting a penalty in a final, and he's giving it to someone who's joined in January. Like, that's meant to be, we're looking at that, City's meant to be Haaland's team, and he's just been like, nah, he's not even wanted it. And
since that injury, he's just not been it. I'll be real. I think he scored how many goals has he scored since he's come back?
Not that many. He hasn't really featured. I think he's struggled with the injury.
He's not been back that long.
That's true.
He's not been back that long, though, to be fair. Aaron's right. It's not only been a couple of games.
True, I'd be expecting him to take the pen, though. That's the crazy thing. Like, I don't think I've maybe seen him miss one pen.
He's actually missed quite a few this season. He scored 4 out of 7.
Oh, is it this season?
Yeah. He's missed a couple. That's why I think he gave it to him.
Yeah, it must have been then.
Yeah, I think that's why I think he gave it to him. I don't know if it's something maybe that Guardiola discussed with him, didn't want him to move it on and give it to Marmoush, who's taken, while he's been out, he's taken a couple.
He has a pretty good record.
He has a good record as well, yeah.
But I'm still surprised that he didn't take it.
Exactly.
So it's interesting. And he was a little bit quiet in the game. To be fair, though, I can't lie. We discussed it. Like, Henderson should have been off. Like that is one of the worst.
Oh yeah, that's a red card. I don't know.
That's a what?
No, that was
a dreadful.
His hands fully outside the box.
For his hands and he smacked out of his path.
But the slide both hit at the same time though as well. Slide. But when you see it more quick time, it looks a bit less like a red card. Compared to the still image.
I thought with the VAR, it's a straight red, no doubt.
You see why I think he's kind of gotten away with it, because so he's the goalie at the end of the day. So like, let's say that was a defender in his position. It would be kind of different, because the goalie, he kind of acts as the last man, if you get what I'm trying to say, because there's no one behind him.
Yeah, but anyway, where the ball's outside the box either way.
No, but where the ball's going, it's like, it's not necessarily a clear and obvious goal scoring opportunity, because the ball's going, it's kind of going out.
But then it should still at least be a free kick or something.
No, it's 100% a free kick. But you can't VAR a free kick or a yellow card.
You can't VAR a free kick. I think it's a red, man. I don't know.
I would be pressed.
If Haaland just has to tap it over his head, because if he doesn't do it, Haaland can tap it over his head.
Yeah,
I think it depends on, obviously, if he knocks it around him, then maybe. But I feel like the possibility that he can just chip it over him, then he's in the position to score. True. I would have given that as a red person. I see your point, to be fair.
I know if I'm against my club, that would have been trending on.
Yeah, you'd be getting mad.
Bro, you're getting mad. Luckily, City are irrelevant, but I was like,
exactly.
I was like, that's a bad decision. I can't lie. My head would be absolutely
spinning,
steaming.
Bro. I want that trophy.
I just feel like it was, but yeah, no, City though in general. No trophies for them this season.
Not really surprised.
They've obviously dropped off a lot. They had that period where they lost so many games. It does look like they're gonna get top 5 and get Champions League, but yeah, no, really, really disappointing season for them. And I think, above all, what I also want to put them on blast is, I think a lot of people say, naturally for City, this team has done a lot, which they have. They've been very dominant. that and they need some help in it. A lot of players, like I just think from the sheer amount of games they've played and the sheer amount of winning that they've done, they've kind of fallen off a cliff. They got a 200 million spree in January.
Yeah.
Where's that gone? They've got is his name Gonzalez?
Gonzalez. I think that guy was the biggest waste of 60 million.
60 million, he's not playing, and they've got the old duds in midfield. Guys like he's playing a Silver and KDB pivot.
Yeah, Silver, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts.
I don't know what he's also thinking. And the Gonzalez guy who's meant to be a 6 is sitting on the bench, bro.
Yeah. No, the January was interesting because they also signed that they brought in 2 young centre backs. They got Kusanov and they got the Vitor Reis guy. And again, they've not really seen the pitch. Kusanov's seen it a bit, but remember his horror debut against Chelsea. But yeah, it's just Pep's an interesting one, and I want to kind of, this is like a separate topic, I guess. But when you're looking at Pep Guardiola, and look, I'm not gonna act like he's a terrible manager or that he's not one of the best managers of all time, because he is. He's one of the best managers of all time.
He's probably, he might be the best.
Easy top 2.
No,
he's top 2. Yeah.
You see what is with Pep Guardiola, and the difference between him and you're looking at other managers, like your Mourinho's or even your Wenger's. I'm not saying that Wenger's better than
Jurgen Klopp's. I know what you're about to say, but put him in
it's
there
just the money. Like he can afford to get so many signings wrong. Like Calvin Phillips, 50 mil, terrible signing. Jack Grealish, 100 mil. Okay, he had a good season, but he wasn't 100 mil signing.
Nah.
You look at managers like, let's say Wenger had like a big money signing to make like that, or even Klopp had a big money signing to make like that, and they got it wrong. That's setting them back like 2 or 3 seasons. Yeah. But every single club or Pep at his City team, he can make those sort of signings and get them wrong because he's going to get the backing to make another one. And that's just like a little asterisk on his career, I guess. But again, like he is still a great manager, but that's just something I wanted to kind of bring up.
No, 100%.
I agree with you, I'll be real.
100%. The guy likes hustle. He's always made sure that he's had the perfect environment for him to win. And boy, has he won, to be fair to him. But that's definitely something that
I don't think he'll be good at a smaller club.
You don't think so? I think he struggled as well.
I think he'll struggle.
How do you think Pep Guardiola would do in non-league?
He'd be stressed. Man, then we getting injured every week.
I think he'd still do I think he'd do decent in non-league.
Do you think he'd be like one like a?
I think if he was in non-league, he would have still gone up the ranks. The things that he can do to also elevate players is massive. But he's like, I feel like non-league is hard to judge it because he's still going to look so talented in amongst the the managers there. But if he had the situations that Klopp has had at Liverpool, the situations that Wenger had at Arsenal, the situations that Mourinho has, I don't know if he excels like that. I feel like he'd be a good manager that maybe finishes top 4, but would he win leagues? Would he win Champions League? I don't think so because I think Pep as well. He's got a very short fuse. Like when he doesn't rate someone, he's just like, he doesn't even want to look at them. Yeah. He don't want to use them.
I remember how he got rid of Cancelo so quickly.
Bro, he just washes the hands of them. Like you make a mistake, you're not able to do certain things. He doesn't really want to start trying to cater for you. He wants to get you out and he wants to get somebody new in.
He doesn't even try to keep players, which I think is sometimes a bad thing that he does. Because like with Sane, he let Sane go when Sane was like one of their best wingers. He let Alvarez go last season. Imagine letting Alvarez this season. I feel like they'd be popping up.
I think they kind of had to let Alvarez go though because he was never going to be starting over Haaland.
Yeah, I know, but if he stayed one more season, he'd have been starting pretty much every game. I feel like they had a lot better season, but they bought Marmoush, who is not as good as Alvarez.
He came in January though.
It's true. But
I think Alvarez was because he wanted to be a starter, innit?
He did.
So it's always tough because it's like...
Because he wasn't going to drop Foden, as much as we want to banter Foden still had a good season last year. And you weren't going to say Alvarez, you're going to start ahead of him. So.
It's understandable.
Foden. We're going to talk about you later, my boy. We're going to talk about you later. But anyway, I think we've done a lot on the FA Cup. Quickly on the remaining games. So Chelsea Man U on Friday. Big game in the top 5 race. We know AG was already starting the shots on Chelsea before, but now we can talk about you guys. So yeah, you win 1-0.
1-0.
Beautiful little goal. It was a game where I thought you guys dominated. I thought you guys were the better team. But I was a little bit worried. I was thinking, are you gonna get through it? United were getting a couple of little chances. United were playing a little bit better than what they normally do. We know we know how United are. They like to turn up against against the big clubs and try and protect whatever little pride they have left, and then they'll play against Bournemouth and they're
a hating club, man.
Bro, they're a hater club, bro. They're a hater club. They'll play against Bournemouth and they'll just pull their pants down. Like they're that type of team. But yeah, tell me thoughts on the game.
And what do you think it means? For us, it means this is a big chance to get champs. In all honesty, obviously, I'm a bit upset about the whole Jackson thing, red card.
Yeah,
but we had a good game. Reece James looked probably one of his best performances this season. The only negative I'd say is just the attack doesn't really score enough goals, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But shout out to Cucurella, man. I love that guy. He's got like 5 goals for us in the league this year. So. But yeah, no, I'm happy with the result.
Interesting
obviously.
You talk about Cucurella. Just a quick question on him. So he's one that, a lot of people criticize, say that he's not really up to scratch. Some people think he's not even Chelsea standards. Chelsea fans, I see them a lot saying that now he's been one of our most consistent players this season. What's your thoughts on that? Where do you rank on?
I'd say he's been top 3 players for us this season.
Okay,
in my opinion, I'd probably put Caicedo number 1. That guy is just different level every game, man. I see. Next level. Second will probably have to be Palmer, even though he hasn't been too great this year. But without Palmer, we're nowhere near top 6, in my opinion. Yeah. Even though his goals have dried out a bit, he's still the guy. And then probably Cucurella, to be honest. He's been coming in a lot of clutch goals for us. Yeah. So even we've got a couple 1-0s where he's the only goal scorer. So I'd have to say he's a great left back. I'd say he's... Where do I put him in the league? He's definitely top 5, maybe top 3.
So do you disagree with those guys that say he's not
disagree at all? He's great. He's cold.
You just think they're just chatting?
He's chatting nonsense, man. To be fair, yeah, I'll say last year, I'll be real, even I was having a bit of suspicions on the guy. But I think a lot of it just comes down to confidence with him and the tactics. Because like when you saw him in the Euros, he was possibly Spain's best player at the Euros. You know what I mean? Well, defender, because obviously Yamal led them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I was about to say.
But he was cold. He was up there. He was great in the Euros. So and it obviously seems like he's brought that back this year. So as long as he carries on, man, I'm all happy with him.
No, I agree with you still. I think he's one of those ones where I think he struggled in his first season. But like I think you said, in terms of confidence, sometimes when you go to a big club, guys need time to adapt, new system, new
messy environment as well.
Yeah, new messy environment, new standard. But I think he's done really well this season. I think he's kicked on from his good Euros and done well. And I just feel like it's why another thing about football discourse. Like I feel like sometimes man them don't really watch certain people. They've got like a they've got a preset opinion in from not actually watching from how he's played last season. But if you watch Cucurella, bro, he's been good, season, man. He's been good across the season. He's had a solid season. Like I said, I think he's been in your. I think he's been your second best player. To be honest, I'd have him over Palmer. I think Palmer was really good at the start of the season, but I think the fall off.
But without him at the start, we would not be getting where we are now. So I kind of have to put him in there because his performance is
he had a good first half of the season. He had a good first.
And just a little bit more on Mr. Reece James. So obviously, he was finally back at right back. Against Man United, the assist was a madness.
Great turn, man.
Bro, the turn, and then to just chip it into Cucurella, he doesn't even look.
Exactly, doesn't even look.
You can see he's taking the picture before the turn. What's your thoughts on Reece James? Obviously, he struggled with the injuries. He's been playing in midfield a little bit. He's now back at right back. What's the plan with him and what's going on with him there? Give me some insight.
I guess we'll see what happens. Reece James. The confusing thing about him, he plays a lot of different positions right now. He doesn't really even play right back. Like you said, he plays in midfield. Sometimes I see him in centre back half the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's still great. I just think it's a case of if he gets another big injury, I can't lie. I don't think he's not gonna be that guy no more. So I think for now it's just a case of bring him into the team here and there, sort of like he's been doing. Just hopefully he gets, can stay fit and everything. Because obviously I think he's gonna go World Cup as well. We've got 2 Chels, so I think he's going to go World Cup as well
next year.
I'll be very surprised if he doesn't bring him.
Yeah.
So as long as James doesn't get injured, I think we can have an even better season next year. Get a couple signings in.
Where should he play for you? Considering he's played all these different positions, are you feeling the midfield?
He still has to be right back. Because even if he can't play in the midfield.
Chelsea got midfielders.
Our midfield is great.
I wasn't feeling him as a midfielder. I didn't care.
Sometimes he makes a couple mistakes and that. He's not as composed on the ball, you know what I mean, for a midfielder should be. He's got the passing, don't get me wrong, but I think it's just composure here and there. Like even in a United game, he nearly gave it to Mount or whatever. But no, I think he should be our starting right back. Simple as.
Yeah, I think a lot of people overestimate how hard it is or underestimate how hard it is for a fullback to play in midfield. Like even when you're looking at when people are saying Trent to go into midfield, like there's a lot of skills that, especially like for example passing in the middle of the pitch is completely different concept to passing when you're at fullback. So I feel like when people always like, this right back's really good or fullback's really good, let's put him in midfield, it's like, no, it's not that simple. There's a reason they got put right back in the first place.
Especially Trent in midfield is not it, man. I feel like he gets a bit too But once too many man come onto him, he gets too stressed. He's a bit like, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't just ping a ball. You know what I mean?
No, it's not easy, you know. I mean, I was one who advocated for trending midfield, but it's one of them ones where you think sometimes they're so great, you know, technically from that right position, but like as Aaron said, the angles and the way that the pressure that you have in that middle of the pitch, it's a different thing. Like, so you get gas when you saw.
Remember that video, the first person video last season of Tielemans and the pre-season one. Like when you take stuff into that, all the people just the amount of scans he does, the way they get pressed.
Tielemans, man, this season, shout out to him as well.
He's had a very good season, man. He's had a very good season. Nah, it's a mad. It actually makes me respect guys like. Excuse me, sorry, just hiccup in the coke. But it makes me respect really guys like Lam. Like he just, you know, literally at 30, bro, just slotted into midfield under Pep, and he was brazy, bro. Next level. And he was brazy. So it makes you because I saw guys like him, I thought, oh, these are the great fullbacks most, but clearly his skill set was wider. But anyhow, man, just quickly on the rest of the Premier League games, you guys let me know, is there anything else? I'm just going to check what I noted down in terms of anything. Last day at Goodison.
Well. Oh, yeah.
Last game at Goodison.
They got a win at least.
Yeah, they got a win.
I thought they would. Southampton.
No, you know, I saw like the images of them like kind of singing and everything. And, you know, a fair play to them. And obviously they're our local rivals. So naturally, I think they're scum. But I had to respect that still. I think Goodison Park has been a stadium with a lot of memories for us Liverpool fans. I've never gone there. Like I'll be real. I watch away games at Liverpool in London. If I ever go up to there, I go to Anfield. But it's a real nice stadium. Yeah. I've seen it. It's not far from. It's like Anfield, if you're in Liverpool Centre, it's not far from Anfield at all. And if you're in the centre, you've seen it. And you know, obviously on TV and that you felt the atmosphere of it. And it's a real great stadium. Still annoyed about that game early on in the season. Oh my days, man! Them guys, they always perform for us. But yeah, no, they did well. And then Dyer's a proper baller. He did well, man. And Dyer? Do you know the...
Oh, in that, yeah.
How do you say his name? Is that right?
Ndai or something like that. I don't know how you say his name.
The mixed race shoot that they got, it's bare tricky.
He's a baller, he's a baller.
He's hard. He's good. Outside the top 6, I think he's one of the better players.
He is. He'd actually be a good signing for someone, but he's just a bit injury prone.
He's a little bit injury prone. He's a little bit raw as well, and he's not actually that young. I think he's around...
I think he's like 24, I think.
Something like that.
I'll also say Vardy, 200 Premier League goals.
Last game as well. He's not playing next game.
200?
200 for Leicester, not Prem.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was about to say that's... Yeah. I don't think but still cold, though.
Yeah,
still
great
cold.
for him, man.
No, what a Barclays, man, still. No, shout out to him, man.
He's run. You know he's not playing next week.
He's not playing next week. He said he's not playing last game. He wants to keep on 200. 500 games, 200 goals.
Oh, okay. Cool. Fair enough to him, man. That's cold. And then Newcastle Arsenal as well. I guess that's the last game that we'll talk about in the roundup. Again,
there's not really much to analyse, honestly. I feel like, you know, our team just kind of zoned out this season. Obviously, Newcastle going for top 4, but they didn't have Isaac. 1-0 Declan Rice, great goal. Wrapped it. Again, probably our midfielder who does the most going forward because, you know, the other guy doesn't turn up, but that's just another story.
But got the assist today, though, no?
2-yard pass, man. 2-yard pass.
No, I've got to shout out Rice though. I think Rice has been Arsenal's best player this season. I would say. I think
it was Gabriel before he got injured.
Oh yeah, Gabriel. Gabriel's a madness. I can't lie. But
you felt the Gabriel not being there. Though.
Yeah, but I think he's turned up. Even that game, I felt like that was a game that Arsenal could have lost. I really feel like if Newcastle had Isak, I feel like they would have gone up in the first half. They had a couple moments on the counter. I don't think Arsenal did much. They responded really well. Arteta clearly he shouts at them at half time, tells them to wake up, because it was the same thing last week. And they responded well in the second half, and they obviously got the goal and they grinded through. But I think Rice he's one that, you know, he always manages to dig in and find something. He manages not to kind of fall into Arsenal's sort of
bad form.
Arsenal it's not. They won't be like bad, but they'll have like these.
They're just sort of boring. You know what I mean? They're sort of passing to each other. Nothing's really going on.
Nothing's going on. They have these slumps almost like often in so many games. And that's why I think they've ended up just not being able to win anything yet again. But disappointing season. But we'll talk about that soon. But anyway, now, all right, guys, on to the interesting bit. I think, you know, the roundup and everything. We know what's happening across the league, you know, in terms of everything going on. We know who the winners are. We know who's relegated. Yeah, top 5 is still going on, but yeah. But let's go into it. Let's get ready for the Rondo Awards. I'm gonna have a little drink, man. That's the rest up. But all right, guys. Sorry, there took a little quick break, man. I felt like I've been talking a lot, but anyway, let's go in to the Rondo Awards of the season. Let's give it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Come on, man. Cool. Come on, my brother. Cool. All right, then. So, on the awards of the season, we're going to first start off with the club awards. Then we're going to go into individual awards. And then we're going to go into the team of the season. So, starting off with the club awards, we're going to do the club of the season. Then we're going to go into the flop of the season. Of course, got to get to your hater bag just a little bit. Then disappointment of the season. Then most improved. Cool. So, starting off with the club of the season. I guess I should start. Well, for me,
I think we know who yours is going to be.
Let me get this up. Let me get this up and let me make my case. So, for me, the club of the season has to be Liverpool, man. I think when you look across it, obviously, there's no major European winner in the league. Nobody's won the Champions League. Yes, you know, Spurs or United are going to win the Europa League, but I'll get onto them anyway. I don't really rate that too highly. Liverpool have won the Premier League, so I think in the fact that we've won the league in such dominant fashion, you know, over 10 points difference to Arsenal, a good Arsenal side. Yes, I know that they've had their injuries and, you know, a couple of refereeing decisions and all etc. But the reality is, like I always say, bro, like even when they've had their full team, etc., there was a big gap. Like the whole thing with Arsenal is whether things can fall into place so that they can make the gap up and put some pressure. So I think that's been fantastic on Liverpool's part. I feel like a lot of people forget the fact that many people had us, you know, finishing third, you know, behind Man City and Arsenal, and being quite a way off that because Klopp had left. Normally there's a bit of transition. A lot of people even had us outside of the top 5, like, which is mad. So for us to go on and win the league, I think that is, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, the club of the season, the Premier League champion. Slots first season at the club, absolutely fantastic, man. You guys, man, let me know your club of the season.
Yeah, I go first. You want to go first?
I'll go. So I do disagree. I mean, you have had a good season and you were in my top 2 clubs I would choose, but for me, I think it has to be Nottingham Forest. And I guess the reason being, when you look at, okay, so you guys have won the league and fair enough, but at the end of the day, I don't think, like, let's say, you know, us or City were having the season that we were like expected to have, you know, getting sort of like in the 80 or even 90 point range, and you beat us, then I would probably give it to you guys. But the fact of the matter is, I don't think there's been that much competition at the top, and you can obviously admit that as well. Whereas when you look at Nottingham Forest going into the season, you know, a lot of people had this club in that sort of category of teams that are gonna go down. You know, a lot of people had them getting relegated, and the fact of the matter is they've now kind of established themselves as a team who's sort of in that mid-table established group, and they might even push on to get Europe, or they have Europe already. It's just if they get conference or UCL. So it's just a crazy turnaround, and it's not like they've even spent a lot of money this window anyway. You know, they've had a couple. No, last few seasons they have, but not
exactly.
But they spent probably like 100 this start of this season, isn't it?
No, they haven't spent a lot this summer.
But I'm saying this summer.
But they spent a lot over the years.
Over the years.
Like, it's an expensive squad they have.
Yeah, no, Gibbs White was like 50, 60 M's.
But we're talking about from last season to this season, and obviously I'm looking at the transition they've had, and they are now going into a team. They've got a ton of players in there. You know, Elliot Anderson, what a player he is.
Great
player.
player.
Alanga, you know, Hudson-Odoi, Chris Wood, again to the back end of his career. They've got all these players who are Premier League established players, and they've kind of moved now from. It's like when Palace had that sort of transition phase from, you know, Championship League One to a Premier League established club. Forest have made that move, that transition, and they're even pushing beyond money.
So. Yeah, well, but money always helps, man.
Of course. You need to invest. They've invested and it's paid off. No, they've done fantastic. But
for me, I got to have them there for getting.
Yeah, for me as well. I agree with him, man. Forest.
Okay, you got Forest.
I got Forest as well.
Similar argument.
Similar argument, and obviously they've even brought in a lot of, I guess, players that you see as washed in the league as well. And they made them good again, like Hudson-Odoi. You didn't know he would come back and do something so good at there. Yeah, Alanga was sort of seen as a scapegoat for United in a way. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, oh, Elanga's not that good. He always had good performances for me. He's gone there. They're gonna get Europe, maybe champs. Same with Chris Wood. Chris Wood's on like 20 goals. Who the hell's getting Chris Wood to bag 20 goals in the season? You know what I mean? They've got one of the best defensives in the league, Murillo Milenkovic. Milenkovic was like 15 mil. So I feel like they've...
Goodbye, man.
Fantastic buy. I feel like they've really shown how good they are, and I feel like they've cemented themselves in the league. You know what I mean? I feel like next season, top 10 easy for them.
Fairs. No, they've done really well, man. For me, they were my most improved. So Do you know what I'm saying? But I feel like the club of the season is.
Of course, you're a Liverpool fan as well, innit? There's no way. Like if Chelsea won the league, bro, of course I'm choosing Chelsea, bro. You know what I mean?
All right, guys. So how are we gonna do it, man? I can't persuade any of you to.
Man, it's not changing.
You're not changing. There we go. Well, you see, you guys, they're hating.
Just take your Premier League.
They're hating,
man. You got the trophy. You got your medal, man.
I want to get that Rondo award, man. I said, this is what I'm talking about, man. I take the shades off and he's like, all right then. I guess so. The cover of the season goes to Forest for the Rondo. Anyway, moving on. Cool. In regards to flop of the season, cool. I mean, I started for club of the season last time. Aaron, do you wanna tell us which club you feel like is the?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, really.
It's out of two teams.
It's out of two, and for me, it's going to the team that had. I would give them higher expectations because they're a bigger club. It's got to be Man United, because Tottenham at the end of the day is Tottenham. They're just always going to be that sort of mid-table lingering spot. You look at Man United last summer. Even the money that is in their team right now, they have so many expensive players in their squad. They added Lenny Yoro for 60 mil. They added Ugarte for 50 mil. They even added Mazraoui. That's an experienced defender from Bayern Munich. They added the Lit. They signed the Lit. They signed Xerxes. All these players they brought in last summer. And they're in 16 or 17?
17.
They're in 17. They're in 17. If the bottom three teams was like a normal bottom three teams, imagine you had like prime Sam Allardyce down there, like prime Sean Dyche managing those teams. They'd be gone. They'd be done.
Yeah, but they haven't hit 40.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they're like 35, 37.
No, 38.
They've caught life that the teams down there are so bad. That's the reason they're not.
It's nuts. I can't lie. In fact, let me actually change this to, I call this scrub of the season, just so there's no confusion about, because we got disappointment of the season. Okay. But that all makes sense. What about you? Wait, for you, is it both of them? Or?
No, it has to be Man United, because Tottenham's
Tottenham, innit?
Tottenham's Tottenham.
You don't expect anything.
Like Man United, they've spent.
I still feel like it's crazy for Spurs as well.
No, it's terrible for them. If Man United were in like 10th or 9th, then I'd give it to Tottenham. But the Man United, they're below Tottenham. Yeah, it's not like they're above Tottenham. They're below Tottenham.
No, Man United are above Tottenham now.
No, Man United.
No, they're above Tottenham still.
But even still, they're 16th, 17th.
Yeah, they're 16th.
There's like a point.
Like Tottenham, Tottenham don't have. They've spent money, but they've not spent anywhere near as much as United have spent.
They're a lesser.
Yeah, and plus Tottenham's injuries have been crazy this season as
United probably have the second.
You know what I mean? They pretty much not had their whole centre backs throughout the whole season.
I still think it's mad though. But so is yours United as well?
Yeah, mine's United as well. 100%. Change manager as well for him to be even worse. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense. I had
both of them. I feel like it's crazy. If Spurs win the Europa League, then I'm calm for it to not be them. But as it stands, it's both, because for me, it's crazy. To be fair, if United win the Europa, I'd still have them.
They're still bottom for me.
But I still feel like where they both are is nuts. Spurs have lost 21 games.
I know, but Spurs have
21
Spurs have been so bad for long. They're Tottenham. And
Tottenham have never been relegation.
No, but I mean, their form's been so bad the whole season, and like United might have had a couple blips, but Tottenham have just been arse. Let's be real.
Yeah.
At the start, they were bagging goals. I'll give them that. But
it's not just scrub worthy though.
Yeah, but the injuries, I thought the difference is the injuries.
I'm not hearing the injuries.
And the players that United have bought is completely different.
No excuses for me.
You see what it is as well. When you look at a team like Tottenham, they don't have the pool to sign the big players. Exactly. Whereas Man United, again, they just went and signed. I know wasn't necessarily Bayern's best player, but they went and signed the Lit from Bayern Munich. They signed a player from PSG, Ugarte, they signed Xerxes. They can still bring in big players. So for them to be in that position is terrible. Like, it's a failure all around.
No. It's United still, but I just like Spurs. Don't you dare think. Don't you dare think you man are not a disgrace. Bro.
Crazy.
Like, don't think I'm onto you. That's crazy.
The mad thing is they still got positive goal difference. I don't know how. 2. I don't know how, bro. Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
We're team Tottenham, man. We're team.
Crazy. Okay, so Man United, you are the Rondo scrubs of the season. As a club, disgrace, bro.
Terrible.
Gosh.
Terrible.
Take a look at yourselves, I swear down. You guys win the Europa League. You should sack Amorim. You should sack Amorim anyway, bro. Someone's got to pay for you, man, being that bad. They should have just
kept Ten Hag, bro. I'll be real. Bro. It made no difference.
Legit. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I just can't believe bare United fans are accepting it and saying, next season we'll go again. I'm like,
nah, bro.
How far the mighty have fallen?
If they don't win Europa, I can't lie, they're finished. How far the
mighty have fallen? You got no shame. Absolutely insane. Anyway, cool. Moving on to the disappointment of the season. So, Marcus, you go first.
For me, has to be Arsenal.
Okay.
They were Arsenal again. I feel like they had a big chance to win the league. Because I feel like even though you man were good, it wasn't your best team you've ever been this year. Fair enough, Salah's been next level, but I feel like as an overall team, Arsenal kind of had the more better team overall to win the league this year, and I feel like they just kind of fumbled it. Didn't buy a striker again at the start of the season, which I thought was just ridiculous.
Didn't do it again in January.
Didn't do it again in January when I heard they could have got Watkins or something like that. But I feel like they had the proper structure, the team to go for it, and they just flopped it again, 3rd year in a row. And I'm just thinking, like, Arteta, are you gonna bring something out yet? Because like, I'm still waiting, bro. I'm still waiting. Like, I'm not Arsenal fan. If I was Arsenal, I'll be slight angry, innit? Because it's like Arsenal get there, then they just go, nah. You know what I mean? They get there, and they're like, I don't want it. They you know what I mean? They get there, they say, I don't want it.
I think they've been very disappointing.
Exactly, because I feel like for this year, especially how bad City was, I thought it would be a 2-man race, Arsenal-Liverpool. Yeah. Who's going to get there? And by the time it got to Jan, it was Liverpool basically won the league. So for me, Arsenal has to be the flop.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. You know, at the end of the day...
so yours is Arsenal as well?
Yeah, 100% I have Arsenal as well.
This is an Arsenal fan,
yeah. And the reason I have us there, like, because at the end of the day, especially if you're not just taking into account the Premier League, like, we've not won a trophy again. You look at the FA Cup. We're going out at home to Manchester United, bro. The worst United team I've seen in my lifetime. We couldn't beat them. They had 10 men for an hour. We couldn't get past them. You look at the Carabao Cup. We're going out to Newcastle, a team that's not won a trophy in 50, 60 years. We can't get past them. The Premier League, again, the title race, it wasn't even a title race. It got to March. For me, the season ended. There was a 4-game stretch where the season ended, which was when we had Forest, United, and West Ham. And there was another game as well in there. But there was no reason. We lost at home to West Ham. That West Ham team is not good. I don't care how many injuries we have. We should have never lost to that West Ham team. West Ham didn't have Paqueta. Paqueta's not been that good this season, but still, they were missing players. You know, we went to United away, must-win game. We drew the game. And there was a little time period at Liverpool where you guys were a bit shaky. You know, when you just went out to PSG, you just lost the Carabao final. And there was a bit of... You guys were still clear, but there was a bit of doubt in the air. And for me, I always had in my mind that there was a 2-game, like, in the running, like, no, because I think it was about 9 or 10 points at the time. I knew that we still had to come to Anfield, and I know that you guys still had to go to Stamford Bridge back-to-back games. And I saw that as a potential 6-point swing. So for me, I was always like, look, if we can keep it at like 6, 7 or 8 points, it's still going to be up for grabs. But we just, in that sort of run, we just completely bottled it. Like, we couldn't beat West Ham, we couldn't beat United. And for it to not be close, for the title to be done in March was just embarrassing. So embarrassing. And like Marcus said, you know, going into this season, you know, we just hit 89 points. We didn't lose any of our star players. We added a few extra names, and now we've just about got 70 points. So I don't see how we can't be a disappointment.
Fair. And where do you think that stems from? Is it the manager for you?
If I speak, they'll...
Because we should talk a little bit about managers. We haven't actually. Maybe we should weave them into a little bit. So.
Yeah, for me, it's a mixture of some players regressing. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously the skipper's been terrible this season. You know,
we'll get a chance to talk on players.
Skipper's been terrible.
Yeah.
We have had a few injuries. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. We had a few injuries, but again, I don't think that's the main reason. And the manager, I feel like he's taken a bit. He also took a bit too long to, I guess, integrate some players into the team. You know, Lewis Skelly, we saw him in pre-season. He was a good player in pre-season, and you know, we've all seen how good he's broken out this season. But the fact of the matter was, he didn't really get put into the team until late December, and he only got put in there because of injuries. Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like this is
a bit reluctant.
This is a common thing with Arteta. Like, even now, we're looking at Ethan Nwaneri, who was, for me, our best attacker when Saka was out injured.
Didn't even bring him on in the Champions.
Yeah, now Saka's back from injury. The guy's played like 20 minutes in the last month.
I agree.
Like, I don't know. He didn't play again today. Like, I don't know what he's playing. Like, he's just.
Is Arteta your disappointment of the season as a manager?
Bro, it has to be. I don't know. Like.
You're not
disappointed
sure.
as a manager, no, it has to be Amarim.
Yeah, it has to be Amarim. That's to be Amarim.
Yeah, no, Amarim is a shout.
Even Ange's a shout as well. That's the thing.
I feel like more Amarim because I really thought he was going to come in and do something. Anja was seeing the cracks. Never thought this much, but for Amarim to come in and be worse than Ten Hag.
Yeah, it has to be Amarim because if Amarim was...
He changed the tactics too much.
If it was his rate of points the whole season, United...
They'd be relegated.
Exactly. They're up because of Ten Hag.
They were near champs with Ten Hag.
They were 4 points off UCL.
Yeah, it's crazy. They've been the relegation battle going up to the last end of the season.
Now they're 30 points off UCL, so it's crazy.
It's definitely... I think he's been a disgrace. And I don't care that he's coming midway through the season. To not be able to rack up, like, any sort of wins and anything is
it's crazy.
Yeah, the Wolves manager who came in at the same time score like 16, 18.
The man went on like a 6 win streak or something.
A little bit of something.
Yeah, man.
Cool. We'll revisit managers kind of as after we come to the end of this club award cycle. But just to go on to my flop of it's not flop, sorry, disappointment of the season. I actually went for Man City. With Arsenal, I feel like Arsenal are definitely up there, but I just do think that I still saw a lot of solid performances from Arsenal. I do think as well, like, it's almost like Arsenal were almost like my disappointment of the season for cocky Arsenal fans. So, you know what I'm saying? Man like Jalen that came out here, coming here telling me that Liverpool are irrelevant. But, like, sort of generally speaking, I do feel like the injuries have been tough. I think that's been the biggest factor for me. I thought they were decent in the Champions League. I feel like people don't give them the credit for that. I feel like they did pretty well. Obviously, again, they fell short. And then I thought they were very disappointing in domestic cups. In my personal view, it's like going out to Arsenal. Like, literally, to not get a trophy is disappointing. But I just thought City, for me, I do respect City because obviously what they've done in terms of the way that they've won. But in spending 200 million in January, and the team not really improving. Like the team's improved because Pep's really, kind of just managed to just whip them into shape. Those signings, well, like Mamouche's done a little bit of a thing, but still not really done much. Like you got Gonzalez, he's on the bench. Like I just feel like that's quite disappointing, man. And then you lose the FA Cup final to Palace. So I wanted to put them on the blast a little bit. I just felt like let me allow Arsenal a little bit. Like I knew that someone was going to have smoke for Arsenal, and I thank you two very much for that. Let me put City on a little bit of because I was like, no way can you spend 200 mil in Jan?
Yeah, they're up there as well.
You just get off that scot free. Like you're still allowed to
just panic buying on a mad team.
Yeah, they panic bought, bro. They wasted a lot of money.
I couldn't even tell you most of them players before I even bought them.
Mamouche is the only one who I think is going to really have a meaningful impact to that team.
I think he's still been
I think Kusanov is quite good.
I think Mamouche has still been pretty. He obviously missed the penalty in the final, but
Mamouche is good.
Yeah, Kusanov's not too bad. Yeah. But is he? Yeah, he's not too bad. But then what? The Rare's guy. Did they loan him back? Or is he?
He's just sitting on the bench. He's just been sitting on the bench.
Bro, this is what I'm saying. I've not seen him play. Crazy. Crazy. So like 100 million wasted. Essentially.
At least. We'll have to see.
Yeah. We'll have to see, but.
I guess one thing you could perhaps give him benefit of doubt with, when Rodri first joined, he weren't that good in his first season. So Pep's midfielders do sometimes take time.
That's true.
Yeah,
true. Just see second season really.
First. Cool. And then I guess most improved Forest, isn't it? Like,
I feel like it kind of had to be
most improved.
Nearly relegated to champs.
I mean, they won our club of the season, and a big part of it is the improvement. So I guess we've got disappointment. Just to say, the Rondo award goes to Arsenal. Guy, I know many of you Arsenal fans beef me, even though I feel like I'm normally quite fair in my analysis. But look at there, I said City, two man here said Arsenal. So don't you go come for me, man. And then our most improved is Forest. So shout out Forest for that. I want to actually give a little shout out to Brentford. I think they've done really well. I don't think they've. I think Brentford is like 13th this season. They've gone up to 8th. I think actually in terms of losing Tony. I think did they lose someone else in the summer? I think it was just Tony was the main one.
It was just mainly Tony.
But even still, I think they've just like the progression of the league. I think they've done well
they've been
solid, man. Especially that,
and they're exciting to watch. Have you watched like bro? If you watch their home fixtures, bro, they're like a free scoring team. Like
Wilson and Brembo are next level.
Yeah, they're very excited
again today.
Yeah, man. 19 goals both this season. So
bro, crazy. So I think they deserve massive credit, and I think Thomas Frank is a great manager. So just quickly on managers before we go into players, what manager of the season? Surely it's on the slot now. Are you guys gonna go Nuno?
It probably is Nuno. I'll be real.
So what other slot don't get it for I think debut season winning the Premier League?
I think I'll give it. I think I'll give it.
I get what you're saying. It's just because Nuno, he had a lot of bullshit before as well.
Yeah.
He went to obviously great at Wolves. Went to Spurs. Spurs got rid of him, and then he's come back and he's doing that good with Forest.
No, he's doing really well.
You know what I mean?
But he's had time to.
No, I think
I know what you're saying. I'm not saying Slot hasn't done a great job. He has, but I feel like it has been a lot of it has been down to Salah. I feel like if Salah didn't have as great a season, you guys would be a bit.
He platformed Salah though. He said that he told Salah that you don't have to track back. He gave him that trust.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So maybe that's probably helped him get all these goals and that.
Yeah, Salah said it himself.
I'd give it a Slot.
Oh yeah, that's two against me. Yeah, take it, bro. Slot. Other Slot, you are the Rondo's manager of the season. I had to get my guy something, man. Ain't no way I'm getting this PL and we ain't getting no prestigious award. Well, to be fair, we're gonna get player. I know I'm getting player this season. Surely, ain't nobody arguing on that one. Cool. And then we already said that Amarin's is the scrub Is Amorim the scrub or the disappointment? No, we're
give him both.
Yeah, both, man.
Give him both, man. Man, like my guy Amorim, man. You're walking out with here with bare awards on your neck, man. My guy, man. Cool. All right, let's move into players, man. So cool. Okay, guys, in terms of the Rondo Awards, in terms of the individual awards, we have Player of the Season. We have Young Player of the Season. We have the best transfer of the window. We have the most improved player. Then we're going to get into our hater bag. So we have worst transfer. We have the flop. So who we expected to, not a transfer, but who we expected to perform, who fell short. And then we have the straight scrub of the season. So let's get into it. Starting off with the most prestigious, who is the Rondo Awards player of the season? I feel like this one might be a little straightforward. You know what I'm saying?
Outstanding about this one.
Shall we all say it? Shall we all say it on the count of three? 1, 2, 3.
Salah.
Mohamed Salah. Come on. Come on. Wait.
Salah, well done.
Big up Salah, man. Come on, man. You guys, why? I guess it will be a little bit boring hearing it from me. So, you know, if Aaron, you tell us, why do you feel like Salah deserves it?
No, I mean, you got to give him credit where it's due. Like, he's got the big goals, he's got the big assists, he's carried a lot of Liverpool's attack going forward. Yeah. Especially, next to the likes of Diaz, Gakpo, Nunez. They've chipped him with goals, but he's not really been consistent. And, Salah's just kind of, I don't think it's actually probably been his best season at Liverpool. Like, he's obviously a lot better than last season. I think Salah's best season was probably his first or second season when he first joined.
Second one.
But this season, he's really, stepped up and taken, especially last season, because he was getting a lot of, there was a lot of doubt on his name last season, when he kind of fell off. But yeah, he's completely picked it back up, got his contract, his big payday, and yeah, he's basically delivered you on a title. So well done, Salah.
Yeah, man, I think he definitely deserves it, man. I do think he has dropped off, but I just feel like how good he was across that first half of the season was genuinely ridiculous, man. And that's what gave us the big point gap when, a lot of the times he was winning games by himself. There was a time where it was just like,
I think back
every
to that
game,
Newcastle.
goal assist.
That Newcastle away game, I think.
Yeah, bro, cold. To get us a point back from, I mean, we should have won the game. Kelleher, I don't even know what he's doing with that last-minute mistake. And to be honest, the goals that we even considered in that game, I thought Kwanzaa and Gomez were all over the place. But Isak and Gordon are a lot to do. But he was fantastic, man. Him and Trent went crazy that game, bro. But yeah, no, Salah's quality has been undeniable, man. The maturity in his final third quality is just been different level this season. And, he's got the golden boot. He's got the playmaker, 28 goals and
18 assists.
I can't believe I didn't get my 30-20 season, though. I don't know how. Honestly, that assist record as well.
He's just been crap for the whole month now,
bro.
Man. He's stressing the team.
He had 17 assists ages ago,
exactly.
Man.
It's the most cursed record in history.
Yeah, it is, man.
Even that one with Diaz. You remember against Arsenal? Like, he squared it to Diaz and Diaz missed it open. He even said that he's been trying to get it. Like, against Arsenal, you can see he was hella feeding, man.
This was assist, bro.
Oh, dear. But yeah.
Do you think he's gonna get it?
Nah,
2 more games.
He will, man. Yeah. 2 more games. I just feel like I think he's gonna get 1 more assist, and I think he's gonna end up with 19 and be just off it.
Well, if he gets one tomorrow, I feel like because Palace ain't gonna care next match either. So
Liverpool don't really care. It's just Salah because.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just gonna try and get that assist, bro.
We were in Dubai earlier this week. They're all partying.
Palace gonna join
in Ibiza. Like, it's mental. But fair enough to the lads, man. Sweet, man. So moving on, young player of the season. Mine's Morgan Rogers.
Mine as well.
Oh, fair. Yeah. We all went Morgan Rogers. Yeah. So just to say for the young player of the season, we do 21 and under as of the start of the season. So Rogers does fall into that. I don't believe in all of this 23 and under before the start of the season. So you've got 24-year-olds winning it. So we've gone for under 21, and for me, he's been fantastic, man. Like, I genuinely think, what he's shown across the season, he's shown, from being a player who I didn't really know much of. I don't even think he played much. He was signed by Villa, in January. He didn't play too much. Come across this season, bro, he's been a revelation for me, man. He's
probably been the second best cam in the league, I'd say.
Yeah, and he's like, I think he's shown himself to be a real Champions League quality player as well. Because
he just runs for days,
bro. Beats players easy, bro.
Ball carrying ability is crazy,
bro. He's a quality player. He's got his England cap. I just feel like he's been fantastic, man. Like honestly speaking, like I think he's such a game breaker for Aston Villa in terms of what he does, and I think you can see that there's another level to go. You can just see he's still a little bit rough around the edges in terms of his final quality, but you can see the capability is there for that to go another level. So I think he's a really interesting one to even watch in years to come. So yeah, no, that's mad. I didn't know he'd sweep up like that. Were there any other sort of special mentions that we want to shout out there?
I guess just a shout out to obviously the hairline boy Miles Skelly. I think if you're looking across all competitions, he's still had, in terms of, I don't think he's been better than what Morgan Rogers has done consistently throughout the whole season, but that's in part because he kind of came through a bit later.
Yeah.
But you can't look away from the fact that he had 2 great games against Real Madrid. The first game against PSG was good. Second game he did struggle a bit, but he's really come of age this season, and you can quite comfortably put him in the convos with some of the best left backs in Europe right now. And I don't even think that's his best position. He should hopefully transition to midfield, but I think he's got to get a mention if you're talking about young players.
I thought Elliot Anderson's done really well.
He's been good.
Yeah, I think he's been really good.
My other mention would be Huijsen.
Yeah. He's done really well. Yeah, he's done really well.
Great thing about this.
Got himself a move to Madrid from
exactly.
Bournemouth.
The big move.
And and he's deserved it. And he had a host of clubs after him as well.
Chelsea.
Yeah. all 3 of our clubs. I think we were the 3 clubs interested: Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool. But obviously Madrid came in.
If Madrid called, man,
you're
going.
What Madrid? I find it hilarious. We know we were all like kind of making progress, and he was there, and then like Madrid came in, and he just literally
he said,
nah,
man.
Spanish as well, so always going to be tough to compete. But cool, the Rondo Awards Young Player of the Season is Morgan Rogers with a clean sweep, man. Well done to him. I wasn't actually expecting that. I even thought, when I said Morgan Rogers, I was going to be like, you know what I'm saying?
Has to be him.
This is a pod that we love to see a baller, man. All right, cool. Moving on to best transfer. So, Marcus, you want to start?
Yeah, mine is Milenkovic from Forest.
Fairs.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
how much they getting for? About 15 million, I think it was.
Cheap, it was 12. Actually, it might be 15.
Around that. But still, for getting a centre back that good for that cheap is crazy. I think he's been, could I say top 5? Definitely top 10. Yeah, definitely top 10. I don't know if I could put him top 5, but he's definitely been top 10.
He's kind of knocking. He's like 6th, 7th.
Yeah, you know what I mean. He's knocking on the door, but he's been he's been fantastic. Even when Murillo's been injured, he stepped up. He's been cold the whole season. So for me, it just had to be in price, how much he's played. So yeah, Milenkovic.
AG, what are you saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think he's probably one of the perfect fits for them in the sense that he's not the greatest on the ball, but defensively, like, he's just ridiculous.
Old school, innit?
Yeah, he heads over.
Him and Murillo together.
Proper defender. And like when I watched Forest last season, because I did watch quite a few of their games, like you could kind of tell, they had Murillo, who was a great centre back, but he didn't really, like, the partner next to him just wasn't really good. Sometimes it would be like Wilfred Bolly or just someone else.
Bolly was all over the place, bro.
So Milenkovic is really coming, and he's taken this defence to sort of like a next level that kind of just allows them to, sit in, be comfortable. Like if Forest are trying to see out a win or see out a draw, you think they'll
he goes next level when they're trying to see out a draw.
He's taking them, so it has to be him.
Fairs. Wow, Forest getting too much love for me,
Getting a lot of love this year, man.
Too much love, because mine is actually, did I have anyone else? I had Milenkovic was one of the ones. I didn't actually.
I think Huijsen as well is probably my other one as well.
All right, Huijsen's one. Yeah. I think, obviously they signed. How much did they sign him for again? Was
15 M's.
15 million. They made the straight 35. They made the straight 35 million.
35 M's in a season.
45 profit. Man, they're probably even regretting having the release clause just at 50.
Or making it at least 75 or something.
Yeah, because he probably would have still. 75 is a bit steep. I think it would have been.
Someone would have paid that.
Chelsea would have paid it. You guys are nuts. I think if it was 60, I think it would have still been
triggered.
Would have been triggered. But I think they did really well. Actually, Elliot Anderson for me at 35 million. Was actually one that I wanted to shout out, but it's Forest getting bailed up. But I think he's been superb. I think he's a proper good old school box to box midfielder. As an Englishman as well, 35 million. Yeah, I feel like he's one that will probably
his technical ability is a joke. I think he should be Spanish. Like, he's not English.
He's actually very technical, and people don't know it because he works so hard. He's a proper good midfielder,
him and Gibbs White as well together, because they both work so hard. It's just crazy.
Like already, I feel like I'm looking at him. I think he's like 50 M's worth. I think he's probably, and I don't know where he'll go up to in regards to his standard, but like he's certainly a player that will either be a very good player for Forest or will be sold for considerable profit. So it's a real good signing for them. Newcastle probably kicking themselves.
They had to sell him.
They had to sell him because of FFP.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Hopefully
for them.
They get a little bit more trouble.
Even though they started though, anyway.
Bring me Isak.
You guys.
Cool. All right, moving on. What is our next category? Let's take a look. So we have the best transfer. Oh no, we just did best transfer. Sorry, I should actually say who won the award, shouldn't I? Yeah. So the Rondo Awards of the season for best transfer is Milenkovic going to Forest for 14.5 million and being an absolute solid rock at the back. So credit to you, man. Forest getting too much love for me. But you guys have done pretty well. So most improved player. I'll start off. Again, sorry guys, I'm going to give prop to a Liverpool player, but I really do feel like he does deserve a shout out. And I feel like he's been a little bit like, I mean, I've been someone who has got onto him a little bit as well in recent months, but I feel like because, you know, Liverpool fans have done it a bit much. Now rival fans are doing it. They're jumping in quite a bit too much for me. But it's actually Ryan Gravenberch. He is the most improved player for me. I think coming into the 6th position is something that nobody would have expected. This is a player last season who was playing in the 8. Was actually judged, was said to not really be a starter for Liverpool because he didn't have enough concentration and intensity off the ball despite his physical capabilities. And for him to become our 6th when we obviously failed to sign one in the Zubimendi saga, let me not even get into that, but is insane. And I feel like the way Gravenberch was playing at the start of the season, honestly, is a key reason to us winning the league. Obviously, he has dropped off, but I still think he's been solid. I just don't think he's been like at the start of the season. He was literally like, whoa, like Ryan Gravenberch is a world-class 6. Yeah. So I think the improvement's been immense, and I think he's now just going to be he's a top 6. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's not a lot that you can complain about.
Probably second in the league at the moment, I'd say.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I think so. If you're saying that Rice is an 8 now, yeah.
Oh, not even that. I say Caicedo's
no, I think Caicedo's been the number 1 6 this season, and then I think if you're having Rice as an 8, then I'll say Ryan Gravenberch.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
What about you guys?
I'm not mad at that suggestion. I didn't actually think of him too much, but the person who I went for was Brian Mbeumo because he's had last season he was good, but he weren't doing numbers. Like last season he had 9 goals. And he's turned to this player now. You know, he's got 19 goals. How many assists? 7 assists? 6
Yeah. I can't lie, he's gone off.
So for me, I think he's again. I said this a few weeks ago. I think he's at a level that's kind of similar, if not better, to what Mane was doing at Southampton. I think he's really primed himself to, you know, take that next step to, you know, a big club move and perhaps do it at a Champions League level. So to kind of go from a player who's just sort of like a mid-table streets won't forget player to sort of now a player who's ready to take that next step in the Champions League. That's why I've kind of gone for him as the most improved player. But again, you know, the suggestion with Gravenberch, that's quite a good one as well. But I guess the one thing with Gravenberch is that he, against the big clubs per se, I don't think he's really fared that well against the elite midfielders, and that's sort of still like a big question mark on him. So that's kind of where I've gone probably more for Mbeumo compared to him.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. But that's a very high level, isn't it?
Yeah, it's obviously a high level.
To be able to go and, you know, play with Rice off the park, play Vitina and Neves off the park, you know what I'm saying? But he's still anybody else. He bads up. He's badded up better, man.
Yeah, most teams in the league pretty much.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, then Mbeumo's shot's a good one though. I think Mbeumo's been class for a good couple of years, but I feel like this has been like his proper breakout season. Yeah. So I think he'll leave at the end of the season as well. I'm honest.
What about you?
I went for a rogue one. So I thought I'd be a bit of a random one. I went for Kluivert.
Oh yeah, Patrick Kluivert. No, he had that little period during the middle of the season where it was like, bro, like
every game goal against Liverpool.
Yeah,
Kluivert has been great this season, so I thought I'd give him most improved because I feel like when he first went to Bournemouth, it was kind of like because he's been on loan to so many places, nothing really was working for him. You know what I mean? Leipzig, I can't remember where else he's
Valencia.
been. You know what I mean? He's been everywhere. So he come to Bournemouth probably I think it was a couple of years ago, and I was thinking he's not really going to do nothing. Hadn't really done nothing too much.
Yeah.
And then this season, Bournemouth have been way above par. You know what I mean? Especially the attacking sense as well.
Yeah.
They had because they got that new brethren who got injured. I think they got Evan Nilsson as well. Yeah, Evan Nilsson. I like that guy as well.
I like Evan Nilsson.
Evan Nilsson's a good striker.
I can't lie, he's a decent striker, bro.
And he's been injured for quite a lot of the season, so it's been more Kluivert and Semenyo. And the thing I like about Kluivert, although he's not as nice to watch, like I said, Semenyo, he's not always doing as much running or everything, but what he does it right. Always scores a pen if they get a pen. Good at assists. He's just been composed most of the season. So
he's a very good mid-table camp.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He does his job. So I was like, I'll give it to him. Probably his best season ever as well. So I thought I'll give it to Kluivert.
Yeah, fair. No, shout out Justin Kluivert, man. Yeah. Who we gonna give it to then?
I'd probably have to give it to Mbeumo, probably.
Yeah, fair. I can hear Mbeumo because I think now he'll get signed. Move. Gravenberch, don't. I appreciate you, man. But this one, I'm not as super passionate, I guess. I mean, anyhow, Ryan had battered up them elite midfielders. There's no way we're leaving this studio.
If you man were Champs final, I'd maybe change my mind.
Till he's awarded that award, but I can give it to Mbeumo. I think he's been superb, and I think now he's pretty much like 100% guaranteed that he will probably go to an elite club this summer. I just feel like it's a signing that just makes perfect sense.
I think you should go Newcastle, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like I do not want to see him at Newcastle, man. St. James's Park will just get twice as tough, bro.
Scary hours.
Wemo is at Gordon.
That's scary hours, man.
That's probably the best front three in the league.
It might be,
up there.
It's up there. And it suits their ball so well as well.
Can't happen.
Cool. But I think they're the only big clubs that have seem to have taken an interest. All the other ones.
I don't know if you saw.
But you never know. Things will change.
There was links to Arsenal today. I don't know if you saw.
United at one point as well, I think. But
yeah, fair. Is it?
You know what I mean? That was in that.
Cool. All right. Well done to Mbeumo, who is our most improved player of the season. Okay, now quickly let's go on to. Oh, we only got like half an hour left. So let's now start getting into our hater bag. Worst transfer. I feel like we might all have the same one for this.
Well, mine's Gonzalez from City.
Oh, fairs.
Because, I mean, 60 M's, innit? Fair enough, he only came in Jan, but 60 M's for a man that don't even start and your midfield is rubbish. It makes no sense to me, bro. You're playing Gundo and man's like 38. Bro. So for me, it's like, why would you buy him if you're not going to play him? And any games I've seen him play, he's not been that good. So,
no, he hasn't.
So for me, 60 M's, just terrible.
I don't think he does anything stand out.
Nothing.
From what I've seen. Obviously, he might improve. Mine's João Felix, bro.
That's fair enough. I
can't
say one good thing about that guy right now.
And I feel like I can't lie. I feel like what even Chelsea did like across that side, like you guys didn't want to sign him.
Bro, we bought him for 50 M's.
Yeah, you bought him because you sold Gallagher
already.
and you were meant to take the other. That Porto striker, Samu. Samu. And you just basically got forced to because so you could get so you could do the FFP thing, and then he's coming. He's not been good. The only time he's balled out has been Conference League, which is genuinely Championship quality football in my opinion. And then you've loaned him off in January, and he's coming back. Yeah, have you seen Milan fans saying that they cannot wait?
He's got no GA in 13 games.
Yeah, man.
I swear.
Yeah, easy, man. It's terrible.
I think in his first game he got an assist, and since then he ain't done nothing. Something mad like that.
That's crazy. What was yours?
I had Felix as well, because again, with Gonzalez, it's still his first season. Like, he could potentially become good, whereas Felix, like, you just know he's not going to make it.
He's finished, man. He's finished. He needs to go play in Brazil or something, man. He's not.
Yeah, you should just go Saudi.
His man's like 25 as well. So
yeah, no, he's struggled, man. He's struggled. It's a shame, man. He was a talented player. I even thought when he first came to Chelsea that, there was really something exciting there, but nah, Felix.
Yeah, I think the first loan he had a bit of, you know what I mean?
He had a little bit of something, but I think Felix for me, he's the worst transfer, man. That is 50 million just down the drain, but that's Chelsea for you, man.
That's Chelsea, man.
That's Chelsea. You guys just waste money, bro.
So do United, so.
Yeah, okay, cool.
At least we win stuff.
No. All right, flop of the season. Talk to me. Aaron, you want to go first?
So the person I have is
oh yeah, I know this one still.
Is Martin Odegaard. Now, we're looking at a player who last season, we're talking about someone who was probably one of Arsenal's top 4 players. He was nominated for PFA Player of the Year. There's another person I could have mentioned, Foden, but that's not my team. I don't want to get into Foden because I'm probably sure one of you guys might have him there. But I've actually put together a list of 20 midfielders, 8 play 10, they play 6, who've all had better seasons than Martin Odegaard this season.
This is elite hating.
And I'm just saying, if you were to tell me before the start of the season that all of these players would have better seasons than Odegaard, I'd be like, you must have lost your mind. But
can we please hear the list?
Okay, I'll go through all of them. So let's start. So you got Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch, Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Marco Asensio. He already joined in January. Morgan Rogers, Yuri Tielemans, Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali.
No, matter of fact, right? No, actually, start at the top of the list. I want to count as you go through. Let's go from the top again.
McAllister, Gravenberch, Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Marco Asensio, already from January as well. Morgan Rogers, Tielemans, Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali, Eze, Wharton, Baliba, Rice, Partey, Gibbs-White, Elliot Anderson, Damsgaard, Norgard, Bruno Fernandes, Kulusevski. Now, I could have got a lot more as well.
21?
21. 21, I can comfortably say have had better season than Martin Odegaard. And this guy was meant to be a PFA Player of the Year last season. He's meant to be one of Arsenal's best players. Our captain as well. He's hit the whole season and these guys have been better than him. So for me, it has to be flop of the season. I'm sorry. Like it's been atrocious. He's done it in all competitions. The only time I've seen him play well was when we were 3-0 up against PSV. Even before we got to 3-0, he weren't playing well. He started playing well, we went 3-0, and then he just started stat padding. I've not seen that again this season. Like,
honestly speaking, though, what do you think's happened to him? Because honestly, like last season, I thought again 2 seasons back to back where he's been in and amongst one of Arsenal's best players, one of the best players in the league. Some people had him as like a contender for PFA last season.
Yes, it's a lot. Like,
where has it all gone on? I know he had that ankle injury, but it's been too long now to really attribute it to that.
I mean, I said a few weeks ago that, you know, obviously when I'm sold, but I think there's only one potential way that I think he can be saved, and that's if he perhaps moves to the left and plays in the left 8 as opposed to the right. Because, you know, when I look at some of the best things that he's done at our club, you know, I don't know if you remember the assist he got against Porto last season for Trossard's goal. That was from the left.
Yeah.
He also had like a really good assist to Havertz last season.
Against Newcastle.
He's really good with them angles of playing from the left. Like even last season when we played Luton, and he got the assist to Rice in the last minute. Do you remember Rice's header? Yeah. Like he does a lot of good things from left. And I think that's the only way he can kind of be saved. But I just don't think his dynamic really complements Saka that well. Like, you're looking at Saka, who's a player who's always trying to run out defenders, and Odegaard, he don't have the running power. Like, he can't go outside, he can't underlap him. He just gets in the way, and I don't think he's good enough to just stand there and get in the way. And like before, you could kind of get by it because he had his zone where if we cut it back to him, you know, we called it the O zone. If it went to Odegaard, he would be putting it in. There was a season he got 15 goals. Last season he got like 6 or 7, but now he don't look like he can shoot. You know, again, you mentioned the ankle injury, and I hope something comes out that he's had some crazy injury this season. He's getting surgery or something. Because if he's been 100% fit this season, that's his performance, then boy, he's done.
That was 5 minutes of pure hating.
It's not even hating. It's disappointing.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Though. I do get your points in it. Like, I think, especially this year, his shooting has been terrible. He doesn't have the confidence to shoot. I feel like that's the big problem with your team. You guys just don't look like shooting. It's always pass this, pass that. It's just take the shot. Take the risk.
But even when he shoots, though, it's just a bit
he
different.
He had about 5 menacing shots this season. One was against Liverpool when Mourinho scored the follow-up. But like he don't like shooting, and it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing.
Fair enough. Moving on. Mine's Foden, and I just feel like Foden. This has been the worst defense of the PFA Player of the Year that I can ever remember. Like I feel like it's been forgotten that this guy was the best player in the league last season. Maybe actually not. Probably
from a neutral perspective.
I don't think he actually deserved it. I think it fell for him quite nicely, but he was up there though. He was one of the best performing players in the league. It was meant to be his blossom season. He had that awful Euros, if we're being honest, and then
007.
And then all they had to do was start Palmer, man,
bro. And then across this league, he hasn't cut it. He's now been dropped. You know what I'm saying? He didn't start in the FA Cup final yesterday.
They brought an Echeverry before him.
Bro, Pep doesn't play him now, and nobody's talking about it. It's like this is not front page news. I feel like he's had a massive dip this season, and he really now. I feel like Foden is 25 at the end of this month. He's really got a key. This is a key period in his career now. Whether he is just going to be that player that had all that talent that never really realised it, or if he manages, you know, to turn it on its head and be that star player that we thought he would be for City. Because right now it's looking dark, bro. Yeah. He might get dropped for. I even really feel like now, like he's in danger now of getting dropped for England because we've got a few players in the likes of Gibbs White.
He shouldn't start for England.
Morgan Rogers. No, but not just even from the 11. He might not really be making squads because you're looking at Gibbs White and Morgan Rogers now.
Yeah, it's true. And you got Palmer as well.
And you got Palmer, Eze. If they have a second, they've all been better this season comfortably. They all look like more dangerous players. If they have another season like that, your name's not going to hold you. And you've got to remember, Tuchel is not... I don't think it's going to be the same story of Southgate where he's just going to like...
Yeah, play who he likes.
Play who he likes and stuff like that. Tuchel's going to look at you. Yeah. He's German, bro.
Yeah, he don't care.
You know what I'm saying? He knows that the media ain't going to like him. No one like... They ain't going to like him anyway. He's going to do what he likes in regards to that. So he's in danger, man. I feel like it's been a very disappointing season for him. He's my flop. Who's yours?
Mine is Lucas Paqueta at West Ham.
Okay, fair.
I just think Paqueta... Paqueta's looked amazing for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He's always been someone you always thought, he's next level. He used to take Bruno out of the Brazil team. Like he was cold. Linked with City for 70, 80 M's for a couple seasons. And this season, I don't think you've heard one thing about Paqueta. Not one thing. Has he even got an assist this season? Doesn't even play a lot of the time. So for me, I thought I'd go for someone a bit different, someone who's just been completely off the map. Yeah, so yeah, that's why I went for him.
And I think he's struggling with something outside of football, isn't he? He's probably he might not be playing professional football again.
Like was it banned by now? I think he's busting case with that because the betting scandal.
Betting stuff. Okay, sure. Yeah. What do you think just got to his head then? But I feel like still played. No, Tony was going through that. Tony was still bagging.
No, but I think what's up with Paquette was because last summer I think he would have 100% moved to Man City, but it's like he was getting ready. He felt like in his mind, I'm gonna be a Man City player, and he's kind of gone back to West Ham, and I feel like he's probably just been a bit like, fuck this, man. Like,
he's got I think he's got a lot.
He's got a bit of ego on him, innit?
Yeah, you know I feel like he's, like you said, he's in a situation where he thinks it's all going for him. He's going to go to that next level, and it's like, I'm still at West Ham. That was peak, you know. Literally, he was doing all of that to get a little bit of extra peas, and now you're about to have a Man City deal that would have changed your life and would have changed your life for everybody back home. And it was literally all agreed, everything. And of course, like they hear about the betting scandal stuff, and they've rescinded it. They've rescinded the bid, and they're moving onwards now. But yeah, cool. So in terms of flop of the season, who are we gonna go for?
I'm gonna have to go for Foden probably.
I think objectively it has to be Foden.
It has to be Foden. I think.
I don't know if you saw the other day what Gary Neville said about. He was like, if there's one player that you have to put in England team, it's Foden. Like the pundits, there's just a joke.
The pundits, them man love Foden so much. It's crazy. Like even when we was watching the Euros, I was like, why is Foden starting? He's not doing nothing. Palmer would come on, get a goal or assist. Next game, Foden starts. It doesn't make sense, man.
No, it made no sense, bro.
He's got too much love.
So, Foden, I'm sorry, man. You are the Rondo's flop of the season, bro. All the best to you, man. Hopefully you can improve because, bro, it's looking dark. You start getting dropped from England squads, it's a long day. Cool. Scrub of the season. I have a feeling that we all got the same player for this. So who's a player that you're just looking at him thinking, you are just not the level that you are supposed to be? So that's the word here. Because on three, let me just say 1, 2, 3.
Højlund, man, this guy.
Bro, did you see him the other day against Chelsea?
Brother, it's like he's like Bambi on skates, man. He just runs and there's nothing. Where's he running to? He doesn't get no balls. He doesn't do nothing. Like, he can't control a ball. He can't hold up play. Bro, 75 million for that is just...
He's just
crazy.
Slow as well. Like, you can't create separation if you're playing at Sunday League, bro. Like, I go down to Power League and I see players who got quicker feet than him. Like, he's just so slow. I don't see how. How much he got? 80 mil.
Yeah, man. 80 mil. Apparently they're saying they will sell him for 30, 35. Apparently.
Who's buying him for 35?
I don't know who's buying him. I can tell you that. I don't know who's buying him.
If you're a team coming up, like, you're not gonna want him. The mid-table clubs, they've all got better nines than him. Like, can you name one team in the Prem that he starts for?
No, there's not one.
You don't start Ipswich. Does he start Leicester?
He probably starts at Southampton. I'll still take Southampton. That's probably the only team.
Who's Southampton's nine?
Exactly.
They got that.
Cameron Archer.
Onwuachi, the tall guy. I'd rather have him. The 6'8" guy. Because his hold up's good. He just cuts
fair. He has got good hold up. He's quite tall in that. But still,
I feel like Højlund can give him a little run.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Maybe there'll be competition.
I think that's the only team
to play.
I think every single other team. Like, you see what you did with Odegaard about the 20.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I swear, every team you can name 40 strikers.
100%.
Yeah, you probably could.
He is not in the first.
I'd even take Richarlison over that guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He might not be in the top Prem 50 strikers. He's really off it. Like when I see him play, he plays like an academy product that's a little bit out of his
bit raw in that. You'd think he's like 18, bro.
Very similar to like when Chido Martin plays, who's an 18-year-old that hasn't got a lot. Like there, he looks out of his depth. Like he's just not capable of doing much, bro.
Anything, really.
Like that Blackburn against Chelsea was disappointing.
If you don't cross the ball to him in the box, he's not doing nothing.
That's the only thing. And then even then, I don't think his movement is is sharp. Like you often see him getting a second too late to like cutbacks and stuff like that. There, he's just a bit off it. And I feel sorry for him, man. Like, listen, I do think he was brought into the squad for a bit too much money. I did see some like positive traits when he first came in. I don't think this is his level. I think he's really low on confidence, but he's just not good enough, really.
So, do you think
for this level?
Do you think it's sort of like a Anthony situation? Go somewhere else. You think he'll bag a bit?
I think he'll be all right. I don't even know if he's. I saw more in Anthony than I did in him. I think he's like. I do think he needs to be in a lower quality league.
I think he needs to go back to Syria or go Bundesliga or something. Portugal. I think.
Yeah.
Sort for Gyökeres goes there.
yeah. But yeah, no, he's struggled, man. Shame, man. It's a shame. Cool. I think that is all of our awards. So let's go on to the team of the season. So I guess we'll all walk through ours. Let me find where mine's at.
Should we do position by position or?
So I think what we'll do is we'll all name our team of the season, then we'll go through like by position by position to finally decide it. So let me just take a look.
What should we do? Position, then see who else has got different ones, and then
No, I think, should we run through it?
You want to go for the whole team?
Or should we just go through it? What do you guys think will be better, actually?
I was thinking if we do position, then we can at least chat about each position and then...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Then
Let's
at the
go.
end say which is the best team and that.
All right, okay. In goal.
Matty Sales.
Sales.
Oh, I went for Sales as well. I was close to picking Raya, but I just feel like, kind of given the season that Forest have had, I felt like Sales deserved it. I feel like Raya, to be fair, has had like one or two mistakes, but I think he's made some really good saves.
I think he's a bit overrated, to be fair, personally.
Oh, you think he's a bit overrated? Fairs.
I don't think he's rated that highly, though, to be fair. Like, he's a solid goalie for what he does. And, we are looking at bringing in Joan Garcia's position, but I wouldn't necessarily say overrated. I don't think he's put in at the level of, your Courtois, your Alissons. Like, where would you rate him?
I agree with you, but I feel like a lot of Arsenal fans would put him in that table. Yeah, I can agree with you. He's the most I think he's got the highest transfer market of any goalkeeper in the world, which I think is crazy.
He's quite young.
He is. I understand that. He's
the highest,
but like you got goalkeepers like Cobel, who I think is he's a world class. Yeah, he's a world class goalkeeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
And I feel like Ray he's not as good. Maybe at distributing,
he's a good goalie. He's not world class. He's not next level.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not. His shot stopping isn't the best, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's gone up a level this season.
Yeah, I think he's.
But yeah, I feel like Sales deserves it. He's had some games, bro. I remember the game that we drew against Forest at their ground. We peppered their goal with shots. We must have in the last 20 minutes he went to this 3 mad attacking 3-4-3 shape where we had bare attacks on the pitch and we literally peppered bare shots on their goal. Must have been 10 shots inside 20 minutes. Right. Guy just made save after save. I couldn't believe it.
Much. That's when they beat you, innit? At the start of the season.
It was a draw one. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. But yeah, no. Credit to Matt Sales. I think he's had a great season. He's had a great season. Really, really, really good classic keeper.
Yeah, man. For me, as long as the keeper's good at shot stopping, man, I don't care about all this distribution nonsense, man. Save the ball, man. You know what I mean, just save the ball, bro. Ain't got time for all that nonsense.
Yeah, 100% agree. Okay, cool. So I guess Sales is the goalie of the season, and he goes in to the Rondo's team of the season. Cool. Right back.
Mine is Munoz from Palace.
Fairs. I think he's had a great season.
Great season. That as a shout. Yeah, his goals and assists have come in very clutch.
I've gone for Yuri and Timber, actually. I think I really like him as a player. I feel like he's just such a lockdown right back. Rarely have I ever seen him get troubled. I don't think any Premier League winger has troubled him. The only time I've seen him get a bit of trouble was actually in the Champions League against Kvara, and even then I feel like he responded well. But yeah, I feel like Kvara had a good little 30 minutes with him, and that 30 minutes is the only 30 minutes I've seen the man troubled all season. So
I've gone for Timber as well because he's been probably the only constant in our defence. We've had injuries. Ben White's missed quite a lot of the season. He's filled in at centre back, done shifts at left back, and he's just been consistent and immaculate defensive wise. Munoz has a good season. I wouldn't have him above Aina though as well. Aina was the one I was considering putting over Timber, but I think for me Timber, because we have the best defense in the league as well, I have to put him in there.
Yeah, more the reason I went for him over Aina, only because Aina's been, I guess, injured for a bit and whatever. I feel like Munoz has just been. Whenever Palace have needed a goal or here and there, he just comes up with it. Even a couple games this season, I went to a Palace game. And he bagged the winning goal, 93rd minute and stuff. You know what I mean? Not a lot of right backs do that for your team. And how much he runs constantly, I think he's a madman. His stamina, 99 stamina, that guy. Yeah. He's about. And I think Timber as well, though. Timber, he has been cold as well. I think especially his how he can control the ball and that for a right back, insane. He does not lose it. Yeah, he does not lose the ball. It's nuts.
I feel like for me, Ole Aina was my right back of the season for a long time. I just feel like in the last couple of months, I think where Forest have fallen off a little bit, I think he's one of the players where I ain't seen him kind of go up that level and bring his team up. I don't think he's done enough. I think he's still really solid defensively, but I feel like he's fallen off a little bit in terms of going forward. Some of those incisive passes and how crisp he was looking on the ball, I just haven't seen as much. He's looked more like there's Aina being a solid right back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, not really. I think he had that period at the start of the season
when he was just nuts.
I was wow, you know what I'm saying? He's looking really good. He's out of contract. Anyone snooping around now? I'm like. I'm glad that we got Frimpong, for instance. How it wanted us to even maybe inquire. So
I'll take him, bro. Crazy.
Yeah. But cool. Let's move into centre half. So my two centre backs are Van Dijk and Gabriel.
I've got the same.
Mine's Van Dijk and Saliba.
Fairs. Oh, Saliba.
The reason I just went for Saliba instead of Gabriel, probably just because he's been out for a bit. You know what I mean? So I thought I'd go for Saliba. He's sort of been their constant guy in centre back. Arsenal have got one of the best defensive records. So
I'm surprised that you guys love Forest. I'm surprised no Forest centre backs. Like I think Murillo and Milenkovic have been fantastic as well.
Yeah, they have been.
I think they could have easily sneaked in there.
Agreed. Like if one of you said one of them, I'd have said that's fair enough. I can't.
I think Van Dijk has to be in there, and then with Gabriel, obviously, for me he was our best player till he got injured, definitely. So he's not missed. He has missed the last few months, but he still played 28, 29 games. So I'm not gonna leave him out just because of that.
I'm glad you all have an understanding that Van Dijk has been the best centre back in the league this season.
Yeah, because he ain't even had Konate most of the time as well. So I have to give that to him because them two together, dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous. He's had a number of different partners, and the man's class is just different level. But yeah, I think Van Dijk and Gabriel.
Yeah,
we'll go for that. All right, left back for me. I went for Kerkez, man. I think he's had a great season. I think I didn't really. Was Kerkez here last season? I don't even know.
I think he was. Yeah.
Yeah, He was. Yeah, I do remember him. But this is the season where I've watched Bournemouth a lot more this year. They're not a team I really used to watch much, but this season I feel like they've been a great little watch, and he is absolutely relentless down that left side, man. Like proper old school overlapping fullback. I think he's been top draw, and I think it's very likely that he gets a move this summer. I'm actually hoping that he might join us over here at Liverpool.
I think he will join you, man. To be fair, I feel like him and Robertson have been the best two. I went with Kerkez as well, though. I feel like Kerkez.
Robertson.
Anthony Robinson.
Robinson,
not Robertson. Not that guy. Come on, man.
I'm about to say
this guy out of here, man. No, Robinson still. Yeah, Robinson. I think them two have been the best two.
Yeah.
I have to just give it to Kerkez.
Okay, fair. You went Kerkez as well.
No, I went for Robinson because he's got, like, when you look at his numbers, I think he's got 10 assists now in the league this season. Like, he's got 10 assists in the league. Yeah. So like he's a lot of Fulham's goals. Like he's just kind of central to it. Run up and down defensively. You don't really get beat that much. So that's why I kind of went for him instead of Kerkez. But Kerkez definitely top two. So
yeah, because Robertson reminds me a bit of like a left back Minos in a way. Always up and down the pitch.
Yeah.
Energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a bit more defensively solid, though, I think.
I agree with you that one there, 100%.
More defensive. He's got mad whippers on him as well in terms of delivery. Put some dangerous crosses in. But yeah, fair. So I think Kerkez then, 2 out of 3. All right, cool. In my shape, we're doing a 4-2-3-1. You guys
I'll go 4-4-2.
I'll go 4-2-3-1.
We can do 4-2-3-1. It's cool.
All right, cool. We'll go for 4-2-3-1. All right. So in my pivot, I've gone for Caicedo and McAllister.
I've got Caicedo and Gravenberch.
Okay, nice.
McAllister and Rice.
Oh wow, quite different here. So I guess
McAllister's in there. I
can agree with McAllister in there, but I feel like Caicedo has to be in there.
Okay, it's a bit.
No, the reason I've gone for Declan Rice, and I think he has to be in there. So we've obviously not had a good season. We've underperformed, but at the end of the day, we've still been the second best team in the Prem. And I look at our team, Gabriel was our best player until he got injured. But who's been our second best player? It's definitely been Declan Rice. Declan Rice stepped up again today, great goal. United, the way he got goals. He's getting us, if we're making a goal or something for the midfield, it's coming from Declan Rice. We have this massive set piece threat as well from all our corners, which he's central to. And he had a shaky first month or 2 months, but
2 months.
He kind of, after that window, he just but it wasn't even that long. Like, it was probably 10 games max. And he was dealing with
August and September.
Yeah, and that wasn't too long. And after that, it just kind of clicked. And ever since then, he's just been the normal Declan Rice that we know. I think that's why I just got have him in there. Like, I wouldn't have anyone else.
Who were your two choices again? McAllister and who?
Caicedo.
Okay, yeah, I can be happy to have McAllister and Caicedo. And I feel like Caicedo, the guy doesn't do anything wrong, man. I just love watching him, bro. On the pitch, he'll just come grab the ball in our half, just run half the pitch. And he just doesn't lose the ball. Fantastic tackler. He's just too good, man. I get what you're saying with Rice. I feel Rice has stepped up a lot for you guys this year, especially with the goals in the champs as well. They've been crucial for you, man. So yeah, I get the choice, but I feel like Caicedo has to be in there. And obviously, I know you guys want McAllister as well. So, what were you thinking?
Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? I was Caicedo and McAllister.
I'm fine with McAllister being the OCR.
So we'll give McAllister.
McAllister can be.
So I guess it's between Caicedo and Rice.
Right. I respectfully disagree on Caicedo, but you guys can do your nonsense.
The thing is, I think Caicedo and Rice both fantastic players. I think they both had fantastic seasons. I actually think Rice is still a better player than Caicedo, kind of overall. But I think in terms of this, I just think he's a little bit more mature. I think Caicedo's still a bit younger and the highest level. But I think across the season, for me, this season, I would give it to Caicedo. I just think it's just those first couple of months for Rice where I feel like he just took a little bit longer to get going. I feel like Caicedo's been Chelsea's best player, and I think he's been that consistent force there. And some of the performances, like you say, in the midfield, like sometimes when I watch Caicedo, like for instance, him against United, like I feel tired watching him. Like I feel like I imagine myself as the opposition team, and I'm like, just imagine playing against such
just runs for days,
terror, bro.
You know
like,
what I mean?
Runs for days.
Yeah, but imagine trying to play out the back against Declan Rice. The guy would just pop out. And
Yeah, but I know what you're saying, but defensively, I feel like Caicedo's just better than him.
No way. You're on crack. I promise you're on crack. If you think Caicedo's better than defensively,
Caicedo does more tackles than Rice.
You don't, bro. Rice, we have basically one person defending on my field because Partey can't move. Odegaard don't win any duels. Rice is doing defensive work of 3 man every single game. Yeah, the way this guy, the reason he plays 8 is because Arteta literally says he can do the defensive work of a 6 from the 8 because he covers that much ground. He helps when we press high as well. Like I remember there was the game when we beat City 5-1. The reason we absolutely mashed on was because Rice was just pressing them high ridiculously. Like I think the first goal, Odegaard's goal, he won the ball high up. Like he's just a joke, and when it comes to covering ground, like there's not a better midfielder defensively in the world than Declan Rice. I'll tell you that now. There's no chance there's anyone better than him defensively in the world.
We're gonna have to leave it to I.
We'll have to leave it to I. You can do your.
At least you want to take up McAllister. You want to take up McAllister?
You can move, man.
Let's go Caicedo and McAllister. Shout out to Brighton, man. Shout out to Brighton. Man.
They got Baleba coming soon as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Literally. All right, cool. In the 10 then, who are we going?
Morgan Rogers.
I went for Morgan Gibbs-White, but I don't mind that shout.
I'd do Gibbs-White. I think Gibbs-White, because he's stepping up as well in the last few games for Forest. You know, he scored again today. Last week, did you see his assist last week?
Yeah.
Crazy assist. So I'd have to put Gibbs-White in the 10.
Yeah, we'll go with Gibbs-White then.
I'm thinking about Rodgers.
You're thinking around. Might change my thing.
You know, I'll go Gibbs-White in it because I feel like Forest might get Champions League, and that's just a great achievement. I'll go Gibbs-White. I think he's got more responsibility in that Forest side.
Yeah, I can agree with you
there. Yeah, cool. All right, front three. I feel like we might have this.
So we go with the same right winger, ain't we?
Yeah, we all
so we'll skip Salah.
Striker.
Isak for me. Isak, yeah.
Well, I had 2 up front originally, so it's between Isak and Chris Wood.
You might as well do. Put Isak left or
stop it. Isak's better than Wood, man.
Bro, don't sleep on Chris Wood, bro. Chris Wood's been a bad boy striker.
Yes. So you think he's as good as Isak this season?
You see what? No, with Isak though, he's not being like he's had some injuries, isn't he? He's had some off games. Like Isak, when he at his best, you're looking at me like I'm a madman.
Yeah, I do think you're a madman.
Crazy. I love Isak. I love Isak.
I agree. It's a good shot, but obviously
Chris Wood. When Forest play football, when they lump the ball forward, the way this guy holds up the ball, it's a joke. It's a joke. Like he can make goals out of nothing. When Isak don't play well, Newcastle can still pepper a team 4 or 5-0. They done it. I forgot what team it was. There was a game. I can't remember what team, but you can find it. They won 5-0 a few weeks ago, and Isak, he didn't play that well, but they won 5-0. Chris Wood, if you don't play well, Forest are going to struggle. Like when he was out of injury, they were struggling to pick up points. Like he does a lot. Like it's not as like crazy. I don't mind having Isak ahead of him, but like I said, it's not as crazy as you think in terms of this season.
And Isak's obviously, I get what you're saying. It's just I think it's just on the type of that player, innit? Isak gives you a bit more. You know, I mean, technical abilities, next level.
He's definitely a better player. Don't get it twisted.
You know what I mean?
He's just better.
I'm
not hearing it from Woods, man.
Woods has a great season.
No, Woods had a great season, and credit to him. But he's not like sometimes I feel like guys will have a really good season for them, and you're now gonna say they're to comparison to Isak.
No, I'm not saying that.
To a great player essentially.
Yeah, but he's a. We'll put it like this: Wood is had a great season, good player.
Yeah,
no Isak. You know what I mean? But it's still good.
Come on, man. Some of the performances that we've seen from Isak this season.
No, he's a bad boy striker. But I'm just saying, like, don't look at me like I'm a madman when I'm saying Chris Wood.
He's got
the best shot conversion rate in the league as well. To be fair, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, innit, man? He's been good.
All right, it's Isak. All right, left wing. What we say?
Left wing. Well, I got Cunha left wing.
Oh, fairs. I want Mbeumo.
Yeah, I put Mbeumo on the left as well because I just think the left wingers in the Prem this season ain't been that good. So.
Just shift him over.
Yeah, I thought that made no sense.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I just went with Cunha just because obviously I don't know how good Mbeumo is on the left. Obviously he's never played there, but obviously he's had a great season.
It's just makeshift, innit? Like it's not like
it's true. Yeah. I more went for Cunha just because without him, Wolves are relegated, man.
Yeah,
just straight up like Cunha. that this guy this season, even last season he was great, but this season he's a one-man army. You know what I mean? Yeah. I see Wolves play. Cunha will pick up the ball up where fucking Semedo is or something. Next thing the ball's back in the edge of the box, bro, by himself. Like his runs are amazing. So for me, just there's not too many men in the league that
particularly
can do that.
Before this manager was able to embed his ideas. I think once this manager, the Vittorio Pereira guy, I think he's done quite well. And even like while Cunha had his band, they were still quite good. They were still good. But before that, like before they kind of really got into their gear and when they were still struggling, Cunha was he was
one of the best strikers in the league. He was crazy.
He's got what, a 60 million release clause, and teams were all really prepared. It looks like he's going to go to United, which is funny enough.
Well, I think he's going to wait till after that Europa League
final. Yeah, he might be. Yeah.
No way in hell he's going to sign a contract before that. That would be nuts.
But I think I'll give it to Mbeumo. I think he's just 19 goals is such top quality. But yeah, there we have it. And you guys, would you guess? Our Rondo team of the season is my team of the season. So it is. So it's Chels in goal, Timber right back, Van Dijk and Gabriel in centre back, Kirkes left back. We've got a double pivot of McAllister and Caicedo. We've got Morgan Gibbs-White in the 10. We've got Salah right wing. We've got Isak up top, and we've got Mbeumo left wing, man. Some say, man, A has 10-10 ball knowledge. How's the team been there?
Market manipulation, bro.
What is it? We all did it by majority vote. It was all
no, because you got the final decision for like I said, Caicedo's not in my team this season. It won't be in my
it's
team.
Majority vote, bro. It's majority vote. Marcus went for Caicedo, bro.
That guy had to at least have one Chelsea player in there. You know what I mean?
You managed to sneak in one, innit?
Yes, Caicedo.
And I said, there we have it.
You left out PGMO as well. Like you got to put them in there. You know, they're the league for you.
Well, what award are you trying to give them?
Bro, they won the league, innit? So they won the league for you guys. So.
But you had Arsenal's disappointment of the season.
Huh? Yeah, this point of the season, but obviously like PGMO have helped Liverpool win the league, so you got to include them.
Fair enough, man. Arsenal, man. Netflix FC, man. They're like, this happened.
Well, it's next year.
Next year.
We'll see next season.
You must get touched. Surely though, one question for you though.
Yeah.
Surely next season.
I've got no hope next season. Like, now you see what I'll be honest. Like the last few seasons, I've come into them with crazy hope. And again, if we make a bad boy signing, I might just act like a kid again. Like let's say we do get an Isaac, for example, I might act like a kid. But honestly, this is probably going to be the first season next season that I go into. I'm just like tired. Like coming into this season, I had confidence. Coming into last season, I had confidence. Season before, you know, it was like a new team. But the next season, it's hard to get up for it. Like we just keep falling at the final hurdle. We're going to be banded again for another summer. Like when will it end, Robbie? Like,
so is next season the final next season? So surely after next season, you ain't going to be hitting next season.
No, but the thing is, season after that, hopefully, if we don't, like, I want us to win next season. But if we don't, then hopefully, we'll actually have a new manager in it. So
fair. But if it's the same Arteta, then it's the same. You might just gonna accept that you're second tier.
Huh? We have to, like if we don't win a trophy next season and Arteta stays, then I might just change sport.
Say less, man.
I'll ask you one quick thing.
Arteta out, bro.
But are you gonna swap him with? Are you gonna bring in?
Look, the person I don't know how attainable he is. I want Simone Inzaghi in it. I don't know how attainable he is, but I know we can double or triple his wage. If we can get him, I'm taking him tomorrow. But yeah, that's a good
shout to you.
Fairs. All right then, man. There you have it, guys. That is the last round of the season. I just want to thank all you guys who have supported across the season. We will be back next season, of course, we'll be back in the pre-season and across the transfer window. But we'll be back with it soon. We're going to take a couple of weeks off naturally. I'm shooting off to DR. And also, I should actually say as well, so sorry, guys, that we've had to cancel the live Show X watch party for the Europa League final, man. In the last minute, it wasn't me that had the stomach bug, as you can see. I'm very much fine. I'm actually going on holiday soon. But a couple of the team got ill, naturally. Shout out to Raf. Hopefully he gets better soon and he's managed to infect a couple of others as well. But don't worry, guys. We'll be back soon. The first one was so good. We had an absolute little vibe. Do you know what I'm saying? You guys saw it, sold out, everything. So don't worry. There's more games of the Club World Cup. There'll be great games next season. So don't worry. We'll be back soon. But anyway, all in all, thank you so much for all the support over the season. We'll be back there at the Rondo Awards. Big up yourselves as much as ourselves. So there we go.